there, how are you? Long time no see.
I feel like it's Christmas again. I feel like I'm trussed up like a turkey today.
Oh yeah, I'm not asking no questions that could be conceived as being rude.
It's a bit chilly and windy.
Bit sniffly today, we both are.
Yeah, we're both a bit sniffly, but hey, the show must go on.
There's no answer to that one.
This week's video is about our visits to Peckforton and Beeston Castles.
Oh, yes, wonderful. We've had a great walk up at 2 hills.
Yes. Good for the old marathon training, walking up hills even if not running up them.
Loads to see though, well worth going to see if you ever get the chance.
So I hope you enjoy.
We'll make the most of it.
Put any comments below, we'll get back to you when we can. The links for further information about them both.
Sorry, something's in my eyes, it's slowly coming out.
Will be in the description. We're hoping we're going to stay dry. As you can see, the clouds are a bit black.
Yeah, you can see the big grey one behind us. It's catching up with us, but the sun's out in front of us. Anyway, probably best say, it's free to you and me. Push the button, ring the bell, it's free to the world and your friends too.
Enjoy, we'll see you at the end. So excuse the hot and sweaty look, because I've come out for a run, but just wanted to show you 2.5 miles from where we're moored at Walton Lock is Tarporley. It's a nice village with the usual collection of bars, pubs, restaurants. There's a co-op, there's a garage that's got a cash machine, a charity shop, a nice looking cafe called Ginger and Pickles, which is just by the bus stop, just over there. I will pop a map in so you can see where it is from the mooring. A few boats on the move here, where we are moored just above Walton Lock. Not surprising, as it is a beautiful day. We're just going to head for our walk up to Beeston Castle. So we'll show you along the way. The path we're going on is part of Sandstone Trail. Lock is just here on our right hand side. And here's the gate. It's a kissing gate.
Come on, missus.
Down through the field. With lots of cows in. Let's get round this muddy bit.
Yeah.
Try and stay upright. So towpaths are getting muddier and muddier at the moment. It's not raining, it's from it's so cold and frosty at night and then it thaws during the day. So here's the path across the field, under that arch, under the railway, and up towards the castle. Here's the entrance to the castle. Unfortunately it's closed at the moment, it's only open on the weekends, and it is Tuesday today, but we are going to walk on round and see if we can find a footpath to go up to the top. And that's Beeston Castle just there, nestling on top of the hill as we walk across to Peckforton. We'll come back one day during the week next week as it's half term and it'll be open and we can do some video footage then.
An information telling?
Yep. Here's the gatehouse for Peckforton Castle. We're just going to go in and explore. Just inside the woods in the grounds is this dovecote which has been restored. On our second attempt of trying, we've made it into the grounds of Beeston Castle. It is situated 350 foot or 107 metres above sea level on a sandstone crag high above the Cheshire Plain. It's one of the most dramatically sited fortresses in England, and there's evidence of human activity here dating all the way back to the Bronze Age. We're going to walk up to the castle first, and then we're going to see the roundhouse which has been reconstructed on our way back down. It's a bit of a slog up the hill to get to the castle on the top, but hopefully once we get there we will be able to see 8 counties from the top. You can see the steep wall remains there, and then what would have been possibly not a moat but a protective area to protect the castle. It doesn't really show how steep it is to get up here. Here we are at the top of the castle on the hill. Even on a grey day, the views are spectacular. Like I say, there's 8 counties that you can see across here, stretching across Cheshire and beyond, and the Welsh Hills. I'll insert a map here so you can see them. Be easy to draw arrows and point them out. Beeston Castle is known as the Castle of the Rock. Building began on it in 1220. Construction was begun by Ranulph, the Earl of Chester, who was one of the greatest barons of Henry III's England. There's a famous castle well which is over 100 metres deep and is the deepest in the country, so we'll try and find that and show that to you. And legend has it that the castle is also the hiding place of Richard II's treasure, which is protected by demons apparently. The castle is surrounded by 40 acres of woodland with walks through, so we'll go and explore some of them. And further down the hill there's caves as well, so hopefully we'll get down to see them. The castle was also subject to civil war in 1644-45, and then part of it was demolished in 1646 to prevent it from carrying on being a bastion. And then in the 18th century part of the site was used as a quarry as well. You can just about make out the canal down there and the bunkers, which we tried to access when we were here last time. Unfortunately they seem to be closed off to the public, but there was a herd of deer and a couple of stag on them, which was good to see.
In the distance, the bunkers were a secret pumping and storage facility. There were several across the country during World War II, and they were so secret that nobody knew about them, like me.
That's the idea of a secret.
Oh, right, okay. So basically they were there to store fuel, some of it being aviation fuel for the local airfields, but there was other fuels dumps as well there. Now decommissioned, you can't visit it. It's part of the Sandstone Ridge Trust, I think it is, and they don't claim any responsibility for you getting shot, killed or injured while being out. You can't get to them. It is down by the railway the line, so you can see them as you go on the train, or if you're on your boat you'll be able to see them on your boat. Like Tash says, deers are on it at present, and there's been a couple of stags that we saw.
And there was a bit of an industrial area on the edge of them, isn't there, which was as close as we could get when we saw the deer.
Yeah, that was
kitchen and a woodcraft place, I think it was.
The Oak Craft Gallery.
Yeah.
And decommissioning, what's the word for them?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
You're asking me with my fuzzy brain.
Yeah.
But if you want to get to them from that end, it's right by Beeston Iron Lock.
There you go.
In the distance across the top of the valley you can just see Peckforton Castle there where the arrow is, and that was the one that we visited the initial day we came to see Beeston and couldn't get in. Here we go, here's the well. Can you see the bottom?
No, but I can hear it. Hello. Hey, there's an echo. Boom. Bop. 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 Can you hear it?
I can.
Boom. Boom. It's cool. Big kid.
Maybe the steepness of the bridge as we come out of the arch and across the moat area gives you a bit of an idea of how deep it is. Like I say, it's quite hard to get a perspective on the video. Again, video doesn't really give the perspective. There's a nice walk down through the woodland towards the roundhouse, but Paul's getting all excited because there's lots of felled wood here. Here's the roundhouse that's been reconstructed based on archaeological excavations found with evidence dating back to 1000 BC. So it's quite large. Floor area covers 50 square metres. So people didn't live in small huts at the time. They had big living areas, albeit very primitive. This hut hasn't been reconstructed on the original site in order to protect the original archaeology. But in 1000 BC, the hilltop was fortified and occupied. And then in 800 BC, the roundhouses were built and bronze tools were made. Again, evidence from this has been found with the archaeological excavations. And then in 650 to 250 BC, the hilltop defences were improved to create an Iron Age fort. 1220s AD, as I said earlier, is when Ranulph began his work on the medieval castle. And then in the 70s and 80s is when the archaeological excavation started, which uncovered the history and the heritage. This roundhouse was constructed in 2019 by English Heritage and local volunteers. When school trips come here, it does get used as a classroom. There's big log seats here that the children can sit on outside. We can't get into the roundhouse, unfortunately, because the volunteer that works here to man it today, unfortunately, has had to go home. But there is a window, so let's go and have a look in the window and through the square window today. See how much we can see. You can see the fire pit in the middle there. Would have been very smoky inside with the fire going, because you would expect a hole in the roof for the smoke to escape, but there isn't one. So this castle fortification had lots of protection. As I've shown you, there was the castle on top of the hill and the moat protecting it, and then halfway down the hill here's the remains of another perimeter wall which protected it as well. And then at the bottom of the hill is the final set of protection, the gatehouse and stone wall. Unfortunately, there's no longer any access to them, but here we are at the bottom of the hill, and you can see the entrance to the caves, which has now been blocked up, which went under the hill underneath the castle. You can see all the layers and the colours in the sandstone as well. Here's an entrance to more tunnels and caves as well, so you can see why story has it that Richard II kept his treasures here, the Wiss underground tunnels. So it's believed that over the years these caves were used for storage and processing of crops, and also for the housing of horses during the civil wars. There's also a species of rare bat that's been seen here.
Lesser horseshoe bats.
There you go, the lesser horseshoe bats. I'll find a picture and insert it for you.
So the caves were also part of, or rumoured to be, courtesy of English heritage in the sandstone trail. Say that when you've got a mouthful. Apparently there was a bloke called Beresford who was a local inhabitant who turned round and found the fact that the actual sand that came out of the actual caves was so soft that it could be crushed down and used as an initial sandblasting of the canal boats.
So there we go, a link to the canal as well. History does suggest that once the inhabitants of the hill fort moved out of the roundhouses, they lived in the towers and rooms in the walls around that run around the middle of the site, not in the castle on the top of the hill. Hope you enjoyed that.
Something different. Did you see the bunkers from World War II and the deer? I'm just going to duck a minute so I don't hit
Yeah, mind your head, you're going under a low bridge.
It's good to be. Oh, only just. That's why I have a pom-pom on the top of my hat. Just to protect, because I hit it an awful lot.
He does.
So, Beeston Castle and Peckforton Castle achieved, and the deers and the bunkers and the railway line and the walk in the dark, and
so both those castles were used for some of the filming of Robin Hood, weren't they, as well?
1991,
yeah.
With Uma Thurman in. So go and watch that one if you're into Uma Thurman. Sorry, it's been used by Julia Bradbury as well.
Yeah, she did a feature on it.
Cheshire
one of her walks,
walks.
didn't she? Yeah.
So that's that one. So we're having a leisurely cruise, as you've seen, underneath bridges. And next week.
So next week's video will be some of our days out we've had. It's been great to start cruising again.
Boom.
And
2 days back to back.
Lots of days out. Going and seeing different places, going to different events.
Seen a couple of our friends.
Yeah, met up with some friends.
You know who you are.
So do join us next week. We're featuring one of the 7 wonders of the waterways.
Wonders of the waterways?
Yeah.
Wonders of the waterways? You're kidding me, aren't you?
I think we've done 2 of the 7 so far.
Oh, what was the other one?
Have to wait and see.
I'll have to think about it now,
You
won't
will,
I?
thank you.
Anyway, talking about thinking, that must be a big cue. Push the button, ring the bell. It's free to you, me, Tash, the world, your friends, and the milkman.
Have a good week.
See you, milkman.
See you next time.